So I've heard that some people are wondering how to send a message to parents and or students using Infinite Campus. So I was going to run you through a little tutorial today on how to do that. So here's just the main screen. As soon as you log into Infinite Campus, it brings you here. What you need to do is you need to go over to Message Center over here on the left, and that's where we're going to start. So we click on Message Center and it will probably take a little while to load. All right, so it always looks like this. Occasionally there's a couple strange things. These really just don't matter to you. What you need to do is come up here and click on the new button. So we're going to create a new message. So that's the button we need to click on is new. All right. So these are some different steps. Really, you don't need to change much of any of this. This would all be if like you wanted to create a template and send the same thing every single year. If you want to do that, you can come talk to me and I can show you how to do that. But for right now, you just leave these top ones alone. All right. So your delivery details is where you're going to first start to make some decisions. So if you would like it to go to their portal inbox, you would select inbox. If you would like it to go to the email they have on file in Infinite Campus, you select email. Normally, when I send out a message that I feel is really important, I click on both so that they get it in their portal and they get in their email and they can't miss it. But if it's maybe something that you just want to push through the portal, then just select inbox. If you don't want it to be in their portal at all and just email, then you select just email. It's up to you. The delivery time defaults to exactly the time it is right now, and so that it will send it immediately. If you would like to schedule something ahead of time and have it, send out at the end of the day or something like that, you can do that. You just select whatever time you want it to send. And then this reply to email will just be, everyone will get the same message. If the parent hits reply, this is the email that it's going to reply to. It will default to your school email. I would just leave that one alone as well. All right, so then down here is where you're going to actually type your message. So this should look like a normal email. So you have to type in your message subject. So welcome back or whatever you might want it to be. That'll just be like the subject in the email that would normally be. If you need to attach something, you want to attach a document, a PDF, a link to a video. Well, actually, you can do links in here, but so any attachment, you'd click on this button right here and you could attach it just like you would attach to a normal email. Down here then is where you start typing your normal message. Hello. You could do something like that. What I usually do is I type out my email ahead of time on Docs or Word or something like that, and then I just copy and paste. The big reason that I do that is because Infinite Campus will not automatically use any signature that you put at the bottom of any emails. So I, ahead of time, will type out my email. I'll go to an email I've already sent and I'll copy and paste my whole signature that I always have attached at the end of all of my emails, and I'll paste it onto here so that all I have to do is copy and paste this whole thing. I use Control C, or you could right click and hit copy and then go back over here, and then I'm just going to delete that and I'm just going to hit Control V or paste. Now it does mess up some of the spacing, so you probably want to just check that out. So be careful when you copy and paste from Word or Docs or anything, the spacing gets crazy. But other than that, it copies over very well. And then notice you have your signature down here. So just one more time, it does not automatically include your signature like sending a normal email would. You have to actually include that when you type it out. So once you have your email, however you want it to be, included any attachments that you want to be sent, then what you're going to do is go over here and click next. All right. So you could save it and continue later. That's a little bit confusing on how to get back to it. So really just when you're ready to roll, then hit next right there. All right. So this is where you're going to pick which people are going to receive this email. So the first selection is all recipients from any of these sections that you might select. So if you want it to go to every single student of yours, advocacy and all of your classes, you can select all of these. Notice we're in term 1. It's any student who's registered to your class, in term one. Now, I know if you're one of our electives and you're in the first trimester, students are different from third trimester students, so that's where you could switch between those. Also, be careful if you have a student who transfers out for some reason, changes teachers or something like that. Just make sure that you're selected in the correct trimester so that you send it to the correct students. So this would just be to all recipients from these sections. Let's say I only want to send it to my algebra students. Then I'm going to unselect any of these. I only have my algebra class selected. Or if I only want to send it to my geometry students and their parents, then I only select my geometry classes and leave the others blank. So if you wanted to send it to everyone, that's how you would do it. Now down here, it says student messenger contacts and students. So student messenger contacts would be whichever guardians, parents, whatever they have registered in Infinite Campus, it would send it to them. Obviously, students would send it to the students portal and the students email, and the student messenger contacts is the parents or guardians. Sometimes I want it to only go to the parents, so I don't select students. Sometimes I only want it to go to the students, so that's the only one I pick. Sometimes I want it to blast out to everybody, so I pick both of them. If you are ready with that, then you can go ahead and click next. Now, I know some people want to use this in order to only send it to a few students and their parents. So you can toggle this over just to say specific recipients from these sections. And then it gets a little bit more complicated. Here you notice now my sections are drop downs. So I can go and I say, okay, well, I'm going to go into my geometry class and my geometry classes are all 8th graders. Let's say I'm going to go into my algebra class and I am only going to send it to 7th graders. So I see, okay, here's 8th grader, 8th grader. Here's a 7th grader. So I'm going to add this person to the recipient list. And here's an 8th grader or 7th grader. So I'm going to add this person to the recipient list. Now you might say, like, hang on, why are there 2 of those? And that is because I had student messenger contacts selected, and there must be 2 people registered in Infinite Campus for that person. So that's how you could do it. And you could just go ahead, add this person. Oh yeah, you notice it's the same student, but 2 different names. Those are the 2 different parents or guardians that are listed, et cetera, et cetera. So that's how you could do only specific parents or specific students. Like say, I only want to email my 7th graders or only my 8th graders. You can make your own list that way. If you want to email the students as well, then you toggle that over to say students. Notice my parents are still there in my list, but now it's only showing my students. So now I go through and find my students with a 7. There's my 7th grade. And now I have 3 things for this same student, the student themselves and the 2 guardians. Here's another 7th grade. So again, I have 3 people for that same student, the 2 guardians, and then the student themselves, and you could continue making your list that way. So those are the different ways. It is definitely easier just to blast it out to an entire section, but if you want to get even more complicated and divvy it down like this, you can. Whenever you have your recipients chosen, then you hit next. All right, and then this just kind of gives you a detailed summary, like this is how many people are going to get it. Notice I only had 6 people on my list at the end of it, and there's my 6 people that are going to get it. Process inbox, so there's only 4 because there was 2 parent portals and 2 student portals, but 6 emails because there is 2 student emails and 4 parent emails, so 6 emails. You really don't have to look at that, but that's just kind of a double check that you're getting everybody that you need to get it to. Here's a little quick preview of what your email looks like just in case you forgot anything. But so when that all looks good to you, you just hit send. Few recipients would just show you a list of their emails, and send is going to really blast it out. I'm not actually going to do it now, or these parents would get a strange email. But once you hit send, then you are good to go. And they will, if they reply to that email, it will go directly to your regular school inbox. Hope that helped you.